Hi, everyone. To build upon last week's discussion about the practical value of myths, this week we'll consider some older fables and folktales, as well as their relevance to the contemporary world. For example, we'll look at Aesop's Fables, a collection of African folktales. You may be familiar with many of Aesop's fables already, as they're often used as the basis for children's stories. Please read a few stories from each of these collections and consider what they tell us about the cultures in which they were produced. How do these stories reflect ideas about everyday concepts such as morality? While many years have passed since these stories were created, you may find that some of their core features still resonate with aspects of 21st century US culture. The article in this week's resources takes the stance that these types of stories should still have a presence in contemporary culture. For this week's discussion, I'll ask you to consider whether you agree or disagree with the author's stance and why. Here are some foundational questions to consider that may help with this analysis. 1. How are the cultural experiences of other times and places relevant to the 21st century US culture? 2. Are there fundamental aspects of the human experience that transcend time and place? And 3. How can we account for normative differences when we read stories from other times and places, especially when we read them to children? I look forward to our discussions of these ideas this week.